ये जागीरें बांट करके लूट चलाई गई कि नहीं चलाई गई?
As India braces for another general election, India Today reports from the ground on what will influence the mandate of 900 million voters. Will it be the call of religion? Or a battle cry over identity? Will the farmers' anger sway the numbers? Or will it be the wrath of the minorities that will end the wave? Will the politics over the holy animal and economy around the holy river notch a win? Or will the unemployed masses turn the tide? Or finally, will it all depend on how India punishes Pakistan? X Factor, where reporters on the ground bring forward the voters' view on issues that matter in the elections this time around.
Hello and welcome to the special broadcast where we will be focusing on a brand of politics which has captured a sizable chunk of modern India's political history, at least for the last few decades. I'm talking about Hindutva politics, and what better way to introduce the subject than to go to the epicenter of where it all began, the Ram Janmabhoomi movement, the debate around the Ram Mandir. Let's go.
This is Ayodhya, a nondescript town in central Uttar Pradesh, seemingly unimportant, but Ayodhya holds a special place in the hearts of the religious majority of the country. Ayodhya is said to be the birthplace of the Hindu god Ram. It is the Ram Janmabhoomi. Most temples in Ayodhya reverberate with chants of Jai Shri Ram. The temple bells reminding everyone of this being Ram Ki Nagri, or the city of Ram. But none of these temples, locals say, can compensate for that one abode, the Ram Mandir, at the exact site where Lord Ram is believed to have been born. Devotees come here from far and wide only to see that dream attain fruition.
हम लोगों का उद्देश्य केवल मंदिर निर्माण हो जाए।
हम सब जो है मंदिर निर्माण के लिए संकल्पबद्ध हैं, हिंदुत्व के लिए संकल्पबद्ध हैं और उस पर हम चल रहे हैं।
अब उम्मीद ये जग रहा है अयोध्या में, चाहे राजनीतिक व्यक्ति को लेकर चाहे प्रशासनिक, सारे लोग जग चुके हैं, हिंदू जनमानस जग चुका है। अब मुझको ये उम्मीद दिख रहा है, लग रहा है कि जल्द से जल्द राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर का निर्माण हो जाएगा।
The dispute over the Ram temple has been a controversial issue for decades now, grabbing both national and international headlines. At the center of the storm is a piece of land many Hindu believe to be the birthplace of their deity Ram. The 2.77 acres of land has been the cause of protracted Hindu-Muslim communal strife. On the land, there stood a mosque, the Babri Masjid, until late 1992, when it was violently razed to the ground by thousands of Hindu activists. December 6, 1992 was a turning point in India's history. Riots scorched the country, claiming several lives. There has been no looking back since. Ayodhya marked a dark chapter in the annals of Indian history. Residents of Ayodhya even today remember in minute detail every moment of that day when Hindu car sevaks, goaded on by the proactive speeches of Bharatiya Janata Party leaders like Lala Krishna Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi and Uma Bharti, laid siege to the Babri Masjid. Mahendranath Tripathi, a photographer, ran a photo studio inside the Babri Masjid complex. His studio was destroyed on December 6, 1992.
अनाउंसमेंट कर रहे थे, लेकिन कारसेवक कितना उग्र हो गए थे कि उन्हें नेताओं की जो बातें थी उनको लग रही थी कि झूठ बोल रहे हैं। ये बार बार बुलाते हैं, मंदिर यहीं बनाएंगे, मंदिर यहीं बनाएंगे, और कारसेवा के नाम पे बुला लेते हैं। तो कहीं न कहीं उनमें आक्रोश था। उस आक्रोश के चलते किसी नेता की नेतागिरी नहीं चली और सारे कारसेवकों के हाथ में जो कुछ था, चाहे वो उनमें बेलचक था, भाला था, डंडे थे, लाठी थे, और यहाँ तक कि वो आक्रोश इतना था कि अपने मुक्कों से, यानी मुक्का मार मार के ढांचा गिराया गया है। तो देखते देखते सुबह करीब 10 बजे से ढांचा टूटना शुरू हुआ है और ये शाम को 5-5 बजे के आसपास तीनों ढांचे एक करके गिर गए। उसके बाद फिर रस्से में बांधकर सारे कारसेवकों ने उसको खींच के अलग किया था।
Tripathi took several photographs that day, some of which have been used as material evidence in subsequent investigations. He is also a prosecution witness in the criminal case against veteran BJP leader L.K. Advani, who stands accused of instigating the crowds on that day. Another witness to the horrors of that day was Acharya Satyendra Das, the main priest today at the makeshift Ram temple, which is primarily an idol under a tent at the disputed site. Das had started officiating as a priest on March 1st. The same year, the Babri Masjid was demolished.
देखिए, उस दिन की घटना जो है वो उस घटने को याद करके तो लगता है कि बहुत दुखद घटना रही, क्योंकि जिस जगह रामलला विराजमान है और उसको तोड़ा गया और रामलला को हमको अलग हटाना पड़ा और एकदम ध्वस्त हो गया। फिर उसके बाद में उसको बराबर करके उस पे त्रिपाल में रखा गया रामलला को। तो उस बहुत सुरक्षित थे जब तक कि वो ढांचा था, उसको चाहे मस्जिद कह दें चाहे मंदिर कह दें। हम उसको मस्जिद इसलिए नहीं कहेंगे कि कोह में रामलला विराजमान और उनकी पूजा अर्चना हो रही थी।
The barricade behind me is testament to how the road to the Ram temple has been controversial, strife-torn and even bloody. Political parties and various outfits have built their careers around it, but it is the people of Ayodhya who will tell you the kind of outrage they felt and the kind of grief they have witnessed over many long years of this dream being constantly sold to them by various parties and various outfits. They have lost all sense of hope, and it is their sense of exasperation that they express now when you speak to them.
सर पे कफन बांध के देखो, बजरंगी की फौज चली, गली गली में मात भवानी का गूंजा जयकारा है।
The battle for Ram Mandir did not turn violent suddenly in December 1992. 2nd November 1990 was a pivotal day when things turned bloody. Hindu car sevaks who had gathered in Ayodhya to raise their voice for a Ram temple were fired upon by the UP State Police. Though the official records say 18 persons were killed, eyewitnesses say the numbers were much higher.
28 वर्षों में आज तक ये समझ नहीं पाए कि ये गोली चलाने का उद्देश्य क्या था। जब हम उग्र न थे, हमने कोई गलत बात नहीं की थी, हम तो इतने ही नारे लगा रहे थे, राम लला हम आएंगे, मंदिर वहीं बनाएंगे, सौगंध राम की खाते हैं वही। और इसके अलावा प्रेम से बोलो, जय सिया राम, सब मिल बोलो, जय श्री राम।
Meet Santosh Dubey. He claims to be a staunch devotee of Lord Ram. His only dream, he says, is to see a grand Ram temple built at the disputed site in Ayodhya. He alleges that on 2nd of November 1990, he was shot at twice by the police.
आप इन नालियों का जो रंग आज देख रही हैं, अगर उस दिन आपने देखा होता, खून खोल जाता।
The lane where maximum car sevaks were fired at is now called Shahid Gali or Martyrs Lane. Ravi Shankar, who says he was there on the day too, shows us the gunshots on the wall.
ये देखिए, आज भी उन गोलियों के निशान पड़े हुए हैं यहाँ पर। सीधी सी बात है, स्पष्ट बात है, न राम मंदिर बनेगा, राम मंदिर नहीं बनेगा। राम मंदिर के
यकीन से कैसे?
मैं यकीन से बोल रहा हूँ, बनना होता तो अब तक तो बन गया होता। 5 साल खत्म हो रहा है, 5 साल खत्म हो रहा है ना। राम मंदिर इनके एजेंडे में था, राम मंदिर नहीं बना पाए। यहाँ एक बार भी भगवान राम का दर्शन करने नहीं आई है। पहले तो हम लोग यकीन था कि नहीं, जुमलेबाजी नहीं है, कुछ करेंगे, लेकिन सत्य तो ये है कि अब जुमलेबाजी शुरू हो चुकी है लोगों की।
The Ram Mandir issue has been the center of both political and legal battles. The legal battle dates back to 1950 when Gopal Singh Visharad filed a title suit with the Allahabad High Court seeking injection to offer puja at the disputed site. In 1959, a Hindu religious institution, the Nirmohi Akhada, filed another suit seeking direction to hand over charge of the disputed site, claiming to be its custodian. This was followed by the Muslim Central Waqf Board filing a suit for possession of the site. It was in the 1980s that Vishwa Hindu Parishad, an arm of the Sangh Parivar, entered the fray and started a movement to reclaim the disputed site and erect a temple dedicated to Lord Ram. The Bharatiya Janata Party, which is the country's ruling party today, was formed in 1980. It became the political face of the movement then.
BJP enters into the question only in 1989, 1988. Then it files a suit through Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Adhyaksha Vishwa Hindu, saying that Vice President of Vishwa Hindu Parishad, in 1989. What we are doing, they are doing for 40 years.
It was only in 2002 that the Allahabad High Court started hearing the matter. Jilani argues that former Prime Minister and BJP leader Atal Bihari Vajpayee called for expeditious hearing of the contentious matter in 2003, only keeping the 2004 general elections in mind. It, however, didn't earn him a second full term in office. It was finally in September 2010 that the court gave its verdict. The 3-judge bench hearing the matter ordered that the disputed land be split in 3 parts between the party representing Ram Lala Virajman, Nirmohi Akhada and Sunni Waqf Board. All 3 parties immediately decided to challenge the verdict in the Supreme Court of India. While they approached the apex court in the year 2010 itself, the Supreme Court, besides staying the High Court order in 2011, did not move forward in the case until 2017. Things, however, took a heated turn when the current Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi, said Ram Mandir was not a priority issue for it.
The Supreme Court of India has said that the Ram Mandir issue is not a matter of priority for it. It will hear the matter only following due process. Now, this has enraged the larger Ram Bhakt community, which has cast aspersions on the Apex Court of India, the Chief Justice of India and the other judges hearing the matter. The Bharatiya Janata Party, though, has blamed the Congress Party for delaying the hearing in court. Now, is it fair to hold the Supreme Court of India to ransom at the altar of faith? Can the Supreme Court of India be pressurized to expeditiously hear a matter only because the majority community's patience is running thin?
The angst against the Supreme Court was voiced primarily by Hindutva groups and leaders.
It is not so serious. हमारे पास important काम है. हमने भारत के न्याय प्रक्रिया के अंदर उस काले दिन को देखा जिस दिन जस्टिस को डिले, डिनाई और ऑनेस्टी और आस्थाओं का अपमान किया. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने नहीं किया, न्यायाधीशों ने नहीं किया, न्याय प्रक्रिया ने नहीं किया, न्याय ने नहीं किया, चंद न्यायाधीश.
That is a very decisive moment for the Hindu society, because I think that when court had taken decision on Sabrimala in few days, on Jallikottu in few hours, and 377 in few months, then why can't be Ram Janmabhoomi on its issue?
In the midst of all this, India Today conducted an investigation to find out how open were the petitioners to abiding by the court's final orders.
The litigant warned of disturbance in the event of an adverse judgment.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट का फैसला अगर मुसलमानों के खिलाफ आया तो मुसलमान नहीं मानेंगे, मुसलमान नहीं मानेगा।
But the Supreme Court had its own surprise ready. On March 8th, the 5-judge Constitutional Bench hearing the Ayodhya title suit sent the matter for mediation.
Gaurav, what we can break right now is that the Supreme Court has ordered mediation in the Ayodhya land dispute. Despite some feeble protestations from the parties involved, the Supreme Court deemed the matter fit for mediation. It called it an issue not of property but of mind, heart and healing if possible. The court appointed former Judge Ibrahim Khalifullah, lawyer Ram Panchu and spiritual guru Sri Sri Ravi Shankar as the mediators who would speak to the petitioners concerned and submit a report within 8 weeks. Nirmohi Akhada was not happy with the appointment of Sri Sri Ravi Shankar on the mediation panel. They did not see him as independent. Sri Sri had earlier independently tried to mediate in the dispute outside court but was unsuccessful. The Sunni Waqf Board and the Muslim groups, which had so far accused Sri Sri of pressurizing them to give up their claim on the land, had no objection to his appointment on the panel.
This is the only way to go about, taking everybody along, because it involves the sentiments of the people.
We will take every effort to resolve the dispute amicably.
While the Supreme Court has been hearing the Ayodhya dispute at its own pace, the controversial issue has been making headlines on the political front. The history of the past 3 decades is witness to how the dispute raises its head every time there are general elections around the corner. This time, the clarion call came from the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. In its Dharma Sansad in Ayodhya on 25th November last year, the VHP declared that soon it will set the date for the construction of the Ram temple and not leave an inch for anyone else. The aim was reportedly to build an atmosphere seeking the BJP-led central government to pass an ordinance in the year-end winter session of Parliament, clearing the path for the construction of the Ram Mandir at the disputed site in Ayodhya. The BJP's ideological mentor, the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, stepped in too, asking the government to consider opting for a legislation or an ordinance. The Sangh Parivar had sensed the growing anxiety among those who wanted the mandir, and they seemed exasperated with the legal process. So it seemed that the BJP's core vote bank was getting antagonized. Sensing the heightened pressure, the government made it clear it would not bypass the legal route. The Prime Minister himself broke his silence.
कोर्ट के अंदर कांग्रेस के वकील जो अड़ंगे डालते हैं वो बंद हो, न्याय की प्रक्रिया को न्याय के तरीके से चलने दिया जाए, उसको राजनीति के तराजू से न तोला जाए और मामला न्यायपालिका में है उसको पूर्ण किया जाए। न्यायपालिका से आने के बाद सरकार की जिम्मेवारी जहां शुरू होती है, हम पूरी तरह प्रयास करने के लिए तैयार हैं।
But the right-wing Hindu groups would have none of it, and the battleground shifted to the camps at the Hindu pilgrimage meet Kumbh earlier this year. Kumbh 2019 witnessed various voices emerge demanding the construction of the Ram temple.
देश संविधान से चलता है, कोर्ट कहती है देश संविधान से चलता है, आस्था से नहीं चलती। लेकिन हम लोगों को मानना है कि अगर आस्था समाप्त हो जाएगी, यह देश केवल संविधान के बल पर सुरक्षित नहीं रहेगा। इसीलिए हमारे सबका यह प्रयास था, जहाँ तक है 2019 को देख करके, यह सियासत मैन लोगों के मन में 2019 होगा। हमारे लिए रामलला हर समय एक एक श्वास स्थिर रहते हैं, इसलिए उनके लिए 2019 कोई मायने नहीं रखता।
patience seemed to be running thin in other quarters as well. On 1st of February, RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat, who was addressing the VHP's Dharma Sansad, was booed by the crowds who demanded a date for the construction of the Ram temple. Bhagwat said that the work on the temple would start as soon as our government, a reference to the BJP, was sworn in the upcoming general elections. In response, crowds yelled, "Mandir banao ya wapas jao."
No, there is no camps within the camps. It was just not a protest, but by the voices by 2, 3 and 4 people. And the media all concentrates on these kind of dissent voice. And Mohanji Bhagwat made it very clear that there is no ambiguity about our intention.
BJP's own ally, Shiv Sena, which has modelled itself on the Hindutva plank since its conception, didn't want to see its partner walk with all the advantages of playing the saffron card. Party chief Uddhav Thackeray hit the streets of Ayodhya for the first time to ramp up support for the party outside Maharashtra.
I am more Hindu than you. In fact, my saffron is more saffron than you, or so it seems. From being a prized property of the Bharatiya Janata Party, everyone now seems to want a slice of Hindutva politics. There seems to be a competition of sorts to prove who's more Hindu than the other. Call it soft Hindutva or by any other name. Political parties are now realizing that in fact pandering to the majority sentiment every once in a while can better prospects at the hustings.
So while the likes of Congress and the Samajwadi Party cannot openly wear their saffron robes and endorse the call for Ram Mandir, they seem to have chosen the back door to enter the Hindutva arena. Rahul Gandhi has been progressively making the shift over a period of time now. In the run-up to the Gujarat and Karnataka elections, he wore his religion on his sleeve and made no attempt to hide the same. His temple run grabbed headlines as much as his political speeches. The Congress president, for the first time, was declared to be a Janeudhari by his party when rivals questioned his caste. Shiv Bhakt Rahul Gandhi even embarked on a Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage last September when he covered a distance of 60 kilometers on foot. This year's Kumbh has been a venue for many to display their Hindutva credentials. From Congress Digvijay Singh to Samajwadi Party President Akhilesh Yadav, all were spotted taking the holy dip at Prayagraj.
जैसे पहले मुस्लिमों के लोग भागते थे वोटिंग के लिए, वैसे अब हिंदू के लिए भाग रहे हैं। जब हिंदू संगठित होगा, उसका बल मिलेगा, तो सारे राजनेता अब हिंदुओं की बात करेंगे।
ये जरूर है कि कहीं ना कहीं हिंदुत्व का मामला इतने उभार पर है, उनकी मजबूरी है। अगर वो ना करें तो हो सकता है हिंदुत्व का वोट पाने के लिए वो इस प्रकार वो हिंदुत्व का वोट पाने के प्रयास में है कि हिंदू समाज जो हमको भी वोट करे।
Media may call it soft Hinduism or whatever. But Indira Gandhi also used to go to the temples. Rajiv Gandhi also used to go. He started his campaign, Rajiv Gandhi, in 1989 from Ayodhya.
But things have already changed. From being the core issue being spoken of this poll season, until mid-February, the narrative has now shifted. Post-Pulwama, the Balakot airstrike in Pakistan by the Indian Air Force and the return of Wing Commander Abhinandan Vartaman to India within 48 hours of his capture have given the BJP a new handle. National security and nationalism is the new flavour of the season. Sweeping aside all other poll issues, like dwindling job numbers or farm distress. And amidst all this, the BJP and its affiliates seem to have quietly pushed even the vexed Ram Mandir issue under the carpet. But the sense of disenchantment in the party's loyal vote bank is palpable.
उसी आधार पर राम मंदिर के लिए सारे लोगों ने सरकार को मतदान कराया था, लेकिन सरकार ने कहीं न कहीं से बड़ी चूक किया।
इन्होंने खून पर सने हुए इस मार्ग को स्वीकारते हुए सत्ता प्राप्त की है और उस खून के उस बलिदान को इन्होंने भुलाया है, ये स्वीकार नहीं किया जा सकता है।
As the debate rages on and the verdict of the Supreme Court is awaited, one thing is clear, as it has been over the decades. Ayodhya still seems to be the bulwark of Hindutva politics. It has fed the political discourse for long and satiated it too. It remains a strong and powerful motive that the BJP can't afford to disregard and its opponents to ignore.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.